everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back for I just have a couple of top lists for 2021 that I just want to get out and get done with. Sorry for the video, the audio quality, the video, the lighting. I'm on location. I'm not in my studio. So forgive me with that. So these are not in any particular order, but I just want to go ahead and comment and let the diva know you stopped by. We're going to get into this list and we're going to start with a couple of Disney Plus. We have WandaVision and Loki. And there are two miniseries that came on Disney Plus. WandaVision being my top favorite. Couldn't wait every Wednesday to wake up to watch the next episode. It was classified as an action, comma, drama. It blends the classic sitcoms with the MCU, where Wanda Maximoff and Vision, two superpowered beings, living their ideal suburban lives. They begin to suspect that everything is not as it seems. And you guys, that was the biggest treat for me and my son. He loved WandaVision. I think we have a couple of reviews up on the channel. If you want to check that out, just search the channel and search for WandaVision. It should be there. And then we also have the Mercurial villain Loki resumes his role as the god of mischief in the miniseries that takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame. And we have Tom Hiddleston reprises his role. We had Owen Wilson that starred in there as well. It was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because of what it meant for the future of the MCU. So really, really was intrigued about that. Had a good time with those two shows. Next is we're gonna get to some Netflix darlings. I have Midnight Mass, and that came out last year, and it is by Mike Flanagan. If you don't know Mike Flanagan's work, I implore you to check out the sequel to The Shining called Doctor Sleep and The Haunting on Hill House and Gerald's Game. And I think all of those things can be found on Netflix. But it is a drama fantasy horror. An isolated island community experiences miraculous events and frightening omens after the arrival of a charismatic, mysterious young priest. And you guys, full warning, it was spooky to me. Like, he has a way of creating an atmosphere that feels spooky, that kind of invokes, like these feelings of, just terror. I don't know. I was spooked. I do want to I do want to preference that there is some animal cruelty. There is a lot of horror. There's a horror element that I don't want to spoil. There's a lot of blood, and then it centers around religion. So you may have some people who take offense to the messaging and what it says, but I implore you to give it a watch. It is really good storytelling, and it's Mike Flanagan firing on all cylinders. Next, we have Mayor of Easttown. Now, honey, this TV series came on HBO. It is a crime drama mystery. A detective in a small Pennsylvania town investigates the local murder while trying to keep her life from falling apart. And we have the incomparable Kate Winslet playing in the role. She plays Mayor. The show was very, very compelling. Her trying to hold her life up. Her life is somewhat in shambles as well, and then also being in a small town, being the lead detective on a murder that kind of hits close to home. So finding that balance and going through that whole thing. That was a lot. It was good though. It was really good. Next on the list is Clickbait. Clickbait came on Netflix. It is a wild show. It's a crime drama mystery when a family man, Brewer, is abducted in a crime with a sinister online twist. Those closest to him race to uncover who is behind it and why. And I'll give you a little background. If you look at the trailer, it'll tell you at 5 million views, I die. So you know how the internet is nowadays. Once things started getting rolling, it went viral. So you had that element. Then you had this who done it element that was going on that kind of kept leading into different directions. And you know what it reminded me of? A little bit of Mayor of Easttown. It had like so many misdirects and so many different little things that was going on, other little seedy things and stuff like that. So good. It was really good. You would not believe who done it. So yes, definitely check that out if you have time. Another Netflix darling I had is Behind Her Eyes. This is a TV miniseries that is crazy. It's a drama murder thriller. I love me some dramas, drama mystery thriller. It follows Louise, a single mom with a son, and she has a part-time job at a psychiatrist's office. She begins an affair with her boss, and then she strikes up an unlikely friendship with his wife. And baby, there's this element of she's having these kind of psychosis type things, and then she's kind of astro projecting herself, like she's going to sleep and she's doing all these things, and she's her soul is kind of, her spirit is kind of like leaving her body. And so there's an element of that going on as well. Then we have the backstory of the wife, and how all the stuff is intertwining, and how things are going to go, and just the stakes was just crazy. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Do we have any more? Okay, we have Sex Life. Sex Life is, now I didn't know, this probably shouldn't have made the list, but it's funny. Like, a lot of times shows don't grab me, but if the show grabs me, I'm like, okay, I'm in. So most of the times I do enjoy it. But Sex Life was a comedy drama romance. It was about a suburban mother who takes a fantasy charged trip down memory lane that sets her very merry present on a collision course with a wild child past. So, baby, so she's married and got kids, and she has a successful husband, but she was one of those wild childs in college and all this stuff. And she had like this whirlwind romance with this hottie, and it was steamy. It was good. Okay, so she journals. A lot of people journal. You journal to work things out in your mind. You journal to internalize. You journal for a lot of different reasons. And she's journaling about her past. The husband, and so out of line, read the journal, was like, got jealous, got obsessed, and started on this collision course that just kind of it was a mess. It was just a mess. You just gotta watch it. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it was a mess. There's another one that I enjoy, and it's called Sex Education. Yes, and this is in this third season, and I just got on board, and I binged all 3 seasons of Sex Education. So that was good. It reminds me like the real life what is that show that I like? That little it comes on Netflix as well. I'll put it up if I can think about it in post. But Sex Education is a drama comedy. A teenage boy with a sex therapist as a mother teams up with a high school classmate to set up an underground sex therapy clinic at school. Child. And these kids with these raging hormones, it was just a mess. It was a mess, but it was a lovely mess. I love the storytelling. I love how, even though it was a comedy, we still had a lot of layers, and we had a lot of depth and things that were really, really meaningful um at the center of it as well. And it meshes well with the comedy. So I just enjoyed Sex Education as well, and that's on Netflix. Calling in Black and White. That is a project with Colin Kaepernick and Ava DuVernay. Very good. It's a biography, drama, sport. This drama series from Colin Kaepernick and Ava DuVernay explores Kaepernick's high school years and the experiences that led him to become an activist. This was really good storytelling. It was a really quick binge. I love how Colin Kaepernick himself was actually narrating and saying some things. I mean, the jewels and the nuggets that he was saying in this particular documentary biography type of show was really, really profound. I think all your male children should actually watch this. It's really, really good, really, really compelling, and it was a great watch. Next, we have True Story. This is with Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. This was almost like Kevin Hart's real life story, but with the element of drama and danger that kind of that kind of caused this thing to get crazy. So let me just read it to you. It's a crime drama thriller. A tour stop in kids' hometown of Philly becomes a matter of life and death for one of the world's most famous comedians. And this actually could have been a movie. This could have been a movie, but it's a show. The reason why it could have been a movie because it was a lot of different events that was happening, but there was not much character development. So smash it down, make it a 2-hour movie. There you go. But it was good nonetheless. I thought it was quite predictable. There was an element of predictability, but then there was something else, another twist behind that just kind of, you know, threw it somewhere else. So then we have Power Book 2, Raising Canaan, and I had a really good time with Raising Canaan because it focused on it's a prequel set in the 90s that will chronicle the early years of Kanan Stark. And Kanan Stark was played by 50 Cent in Power Book 1. And the creator is Sasha Penn, and it's starring Bettina Miller, London Brown, Malcolm Mays. They all did a fantastic job. Really dug it. I am class of 96, so it really kind of just took me right back to those years where I was seeing adult life happen, and things happening before my eyes and stuff like that. So I really could relate to it because it was right there in that era. So I really enjoyed Raising Canaan, and that comes on the Stars Network. I have next is Chucky. I didn't think Chucky would be on the list, but I just went on here and put it on the list because I thought it was pretty decent. It was quite the surprise for me. It's a horror thriller. The original creator Don Mancini came back, and it's about after a vintage Chucky doll turns up at a suburban yard sale, an idyllic American town is thrown into chaos as a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisies and secrets. So yeah, there was a lot of different things going on. I really enjoyed the humor. They don't really call it a comedy, but you know how Chucky get down, right? So he be having the one-liners. And so I thought the kills were pretty gnarly. They were really they were intense, to say the least. Like I was like, oh, I was like, man, I'm like, I be wondering if like kids be watching this stuff. I mean, it says it's TVMA, but I just be like, I don't be wanting kids to see this stuff. I don't want them to have no ideas about nothing. I mean, it had me kind of shook. As I was just like, okay, well, whatever. But it was a good watch anyway. And so I guess that makes the list. Um, Next is Succession. HBO has the hits, baby. Let me tell you something. HBO has the hits. Succession is in its third season. Um, it's a drama. The Roy family is known for controlling the biggest media and entertainment company in the world. However, their world changes when their father steps down from the company. So, baby, this is chess 101. Or, no, shall I say 505, because you got to be the best of the best to keep up with the man, Roy, who be making the moves. So definitely enjoyed it. Love the twist at the end, the power play, the moves. Man, it was really good. Shiv, she does a really good job. She's so um yes, I love Shiv. She's one of my favorite characters. Um but yeah, it's good. It is really good. But it's very dialogue heavy. It's one of them shows that you really have to watch because it's dialogue heavy, and it's because we're making these moves and everybody is moving and shaking, and you really have to commit to watching that show. Okay. So next is Squid Game. Yes, Squid Game, the pop culture phenomenon that came on the scene that is pretty much kind of like it's in a foreign language. So just so you know that, but I think they have it dubbed where you can watch it in American with the dubbed over. But it's an action drama mystery. Hundreds of cash-strapped players accept a strange invitation to compete in a child's game. Inside, a tempting prize awaits them with deadly high stakes. A survival game that has a whopping 45 billion prize at stake. So yes, this is capitalism meets the inner humanity. Like I was just like I was floored. The game was brutal. Everything was brutal. And I enjoyed the twists and turns. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was definitely good. And then we have Amazon Prime. It's an animated show, and I don't watch a lot of animated shows. It's animation, action, adventure, but it's an adult animated series based on the Skybound Image comic book about a teenager whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. This is created by Robert Kirkman. You know Robert Kirkman. He does the Walking Dead comics and he does the Walking Dead show. And it is starring J.K. Simmons, and he plays the most powerful superhero on the show. And baby, when I tell you, and I think the reason why I kind of got super invested in this early on is that the characters kind of mimic the DC comic characters. And so it gave me some familiar vibes, and I was like, okay, because like when you're getting introduced to new um superheroes and comic book players, and then you gotta find out what their skill sets are, and you don't really know much about them. But I like how this one kind of imitated and mimicked the DC comics, and it made me feel like, okay, I can get into this. And I'm glad I did, because that thing was brutal. It was good. It was good. I was not expecting what I saw. And Robert Kirkman knows how to write. So that story was phenomenal. It was good. It was really, really good. And all right, y'all. So that completes my list of favorite shows. I wish I could have put P Valley on the list, but that's neither here nor there. But let me know, did you enjoy some of the shows that I enjoyed? Let me know if you recommend some other shows that I haven't seen. I haven't seen everything. So let me know what you want to recommend me to see. Okay. So, because I'm up for it. I'm here for it. What else? Okay, I think that's it. So make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe, and make sure you